the sun is shining 24/7. 'Cause when we're together, it feels like we're in heaven. If it will get dark, you'll be my million stars. I know I can lean on you. Ooh, you catch me like a leaf falling from a tree. If I'll be a shooting star, you make a wish. No, I don't fake this kind of feeling, never felt so real. My heart is on the table 'cause you're my everything. I do, I wanna marry you. 'Cause when you're around, I know it's true. The way you make me feel is so good, baby. So good, so good. Every single day we spend apart, I wanna be with you.
Did you miss me? Now, hello. Welcome back again to Love and Marriage with Tommy and Deborah. I'm Tommy.
Hey, I'm Deborah.
This is our third episode. In the first two episodes, we talked to y'all about how we met and then leading up into our engagement. So now we're going to get to our wedding. After our engagement, Deborah said she was embarrassed that I did it in front of so many people. I thought it was excellent. Thought it was great. And so we get engaged, and then we start planning a date. The engagement happened, I want to say August, September of 88. And we planned to get married October the 7th of 1989. Do you know how we came about that date?
You came up with the date.
Did I?
Yeah, because I remember I was thinking about 1990 something. You're like, no, we need to do it before the 90s.
Before the we had to do it before the 80s went out.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. I don't know why you figured that, but I was like, okay.
Because I'm a Run DMC baby. I don't know. Eric B. and Rakim. Just thinking about the 80s. When the 90s came in, I didn't know what was going to happen. And plus, I had to snag you quick. I had to snag you, get you off the market quick.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, we planned the wedding. And you know, I tell you this, for me, the wedding part of it was super simple because and this is another thing we could bring up at some point. For a guy getting married, all you really got to do is rent a tux and show up. And the wife, her father is responsible for paying for the wedding and getting it all organized.
But the father don't do that.
No, he doesn't do it, but he gives the money and then y'all.
That's back in the day.
Really?
You know, I don't feel that people. Well, they might nowadays still do it the same way, but
you don't think the father has to pay for the wedding?
I think a lot of times.
Because if they change that, then daughter. Word. Let me know if they change that or not.
I know, right?
No, seriously, I really don't know.
I think a lot of people that's getting married these days, they're a lot older, and the couple usually take care of the wedding. It's not so much as the parents.
Yeah.
So we were younger when we got married, but a lot of times they're much older, and
well,
they take care.
I'll just say this: after we set the wedding date, the only thing I really did, I didn't have anything to do with anything, honestly.
And that's the way it was back then. You know, all you had to do is just go find your guys that you wanted to be in the wedding, and go get your tux.
Speaking of the guys in the wedding, we had a lot of dudes in our wedding and a lot of girls. Our wedding was a big wedding, and I'm thinking back now for it to be such a big event.
Yeah.
That I didn't have anything to do with anything. And later on, after we got married, I can remember a lot of events and stuff that I'll just tell y'all this. Deborah is the planner. Like, she comes up with the vision and what she wants and all that stuff. And I'm just, can I say
implement
this?
It.
I'm the pack mule. No, I'm the guy who does whatever she tells me to do. I don't have I'll say this. Deborah can go into a house, an old raggedy house, and she can see it like as a mansion. When I see an old raggedy house, all I see is work. All I see is, what has to be done. I can't see it in the finished state.
That's just like when we were looking for where we were going to stay. When we was going to get married.
Yeah.
And my dad, he
was this
had
before
property.
This was before the wedding?
Before we got, yeah.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
My dad had houses up here in Fayetteville, and he had told us we could have one of the houses, and so I was so excited because Tommy was going to see these apartments and stuff, and we know we couldn't really afford it, and so
we was going.
No, we couldn't afford it. Anyway, we couldn't afford it.
Yeah, we could have if we needed to. The apartments wasn't as expensive as they are now.
No, they weren't, but we still couldn't afford it.
Tell what happened? Go.
Anyways, so I got so excited. The people had moved out of the house.
Wait,
that was renting the house.
Let them know you and your dad are having this conversation unbeknownst to me. I don't know nothing about this.
Okay. And so I tell Tommy, come on, let's go see the house. And we drive up, and it has hedges around it, and the hedges they had not been cut for a long time, so that he's looking kind of side-eyed when we drove up, and we go in the house, and there's a hole in the wall, and the carpet was all dingy and nasty.
It's writing on the wall too.
Yeah, there's probably markers what their kids had marked all on the walls. He's like, who gonna stay here? I was like, we are. He gave us the house. He was like, we're not staying here. I was like, yes, all we have to do is get some paint, get some new carpet, and
but see, let me say, while she was out doing that with her dad and looking at the house and all, I'm out apartment hunting, and I'm walking into these nice, beautiful, ready, finished apartments, and I'm plush, and I'm like, okay, this one's whatever the price was, and this one's whatever the price was, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna show her 3 of them and see which one she like. And I get back to the house, or get back to her mom them house, and she's telling me about this house, and I'm like, okay. And then we go see the house. Soon as I walk, before I even walked in, like she said, I'm seeing the hedges. Okay, I'm from the city. I'm from D.C., Maryland area, and she's from the country down here in Fayetteville, and she's from Roseboro. And people in the city, I think we're just...
Say it.
We're not... we don't work as hard as the people... we don't work as hard as the people in the South. When I saw that yard, that first thing I was thinking, like, man, I had never trimmed hedges before in my life. And, I was thinking...
And I've worked all my life.
And she's... okay, Celie.
I've worked all my life.
All my life.
I mean, we had to learn how to do everything. Cut grass, cut hedges.
No, I cut grass.
Everything.
But we didn't have any hedges.
Well, I'm just saying, we had to learn how to do everything.
But I used to come down here in the summertime to go to my grandmom's house and pick tobacco, crop tobacco. Not pick.
See, crop. He didn't.
Crop.
He picked tobacco.
Hey, look,
you picked tobacco.
Let me give you a quick story about that. When I was
picked tobacco?
No, listen. When I was about 11 or 12, I came down for the first time to crop tobacco, and I didn't understand how it worked. So I'm on this little seat thing, and it's moving forward really slow. And I'm small, 11 years old, whatever, and I'm just taking all the leaves off the tobacco stalk. And my grandmama sees me. She said, "Hey, wait! This thing! Stop! What are you doing, boy?" I said, "I'm taking it. You're only supposed to take off the brown leaves at the bottom as they get brown, and you go. I'm stripping them." And so, because I didn't know,
right?
But that's because I never did that. Nobody showed me what to do. Mm-hmm. But anyway, back to going to the house. We get into the house, and when we walk inside the house, it is so dirty. Like she said, the walls are dirty, the carpet is matted, then it's got these ugly floors, and it's got that panel, remember that wood panel? Mm-hmm. Wood panel board in there, and I was like, I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm not living here. And then she threw the charm on me. We're in one room, and I was like, Deborah, what are we gonna do with this? She's like, we can come after work and paint, and we could do this, and I'm thinking to myself,
and this is before the wedding. We can have it fixed up before we get married, so we can just move right in.
And I saw all these apartments that we didn't have to do nothing but walk into.
Yeah.
And I was not trying to do all that, but somehow she convinced me. And honestly, when we started getting in there painting and stuff, we had so much fun. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay.
It's not that bad, huh?
I ain't gonna say that.
It wasn't.
I don't know if I would do it again. I would. But you would have to convince me, because I'm a turnkey type of person. If I can find something that's turnkey, we just walk in and just boom. That's what I really would like. Mm-hmm. But honestly, when we have done several little projects like that, like when we was looking for the house, and it always turned out good. So now, this is before the wedding. So now we were planning the wedding. We got the date. And our wedding, one of the things that I thought was unique, and I think you might have came up with this, the time for our wedding. Did you come up with that? Mm-hmm. Most people
An evening wedding.
Yeah, we got married at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in October, so it's like kind of like what it is now. Mm-hmm. And when we get to the church, the only thing I'm really worried about before the wedding is that I get my best man, which is my buddy Rick. And me and Rick were in the Marines together. He was back in D.C. And I just told him, I said, look, this is what it is. And let me give y'all a quick story about Rick. Rick and there was, when I was in high school, I had really kind of three buddies that I hung with. One was Anthony Richards. This was before Rick and Keith. Anthony was a year older than me.
Hold your thought. He's the one to your
he's
to your right there with the glasses.
My right?
On the picture.
He's my left.
Oh, that's your.
Oh, my right
said
on the picture. Yeah, the guy the tall guy with the glasses next to me on the picture. That's Rick. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Anthony Richards was was like my best friend when I was in 11th grade. And then he graduated because he was a year older than me. Then I met Rick and Keith. Keith had moved back to Indiana by this time. So I wanted to make sure that I could get Rick to be my best man. He said he would do it. So he comes down, get to the house, we get the tux and everything. So now when we get to the church, we just, wait. We already did the wedding rehearsals. And then now we're waiting for our time to come in.
Hold up. You forgot about something.
What?
You forgot about something.
What?
Them calling you and telling you not to get married.
Oh, no, I was there. That's right. I forgot about that. This is before I had went up to visit or something. Yeah, I was up in Maryland talking to Rick. I don't know if Keith was there, but it was me, Rick, and some other dudes. And they were like, man, you sure you want to? I think it was more Rick too. And see, Rick is still in D.C. to this day. Me and Keith are both in North Carolina now. Rick is still in Maryland. Rick said, man, you sure you want to leave? He had helped me get a job
at Wang Laboratories,
which is like, it's like Apple before Apple. They went out of business, but it was a computer job, my first computer job. So he's like, man, you just got back from Cali. You just got your job. You got your car. You staying with your sister. You working on an apartment. So you got everything up here. You gonna give up everything and move down there with her? And I was like, bro, she's the one. and he's like, well, I'm not saying she's not the one. I'm just saying, couldn't she come up here and y'all stay up here? And I was like, she don't want to live up here, man. And I said, I'm cool with that. I'm about sick of this traffic anyway. So they kept telling me, they said, man, think about it. You see, and then the one thing you got to know about Rick, he's a logical person. He thinks things through, unlike me sometimes. I'm kind of...
he's about like me then.
Yeah, you and Rick are a lot alike in that way. Y'all think things through. I just jump, I'm spontaneous.
But my dad, he asked me the same thing. He said he has a job there, he
did.
Yeah, And I was like,
You just didn't want to live in the city?
No.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you didn't.
And I didn't want to raise my children in the city,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so they tried
we didn't have any kids, but singing for the future.
Right,
right. Future. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so they tried to talk me out of coming down. Did I tell you that when it happened, or did I tell you later?
I don't remember. I just remember it. I don't remember when.
But yeah, and I was sure. I was sure. I was sure that this is where I was supposed to be, and this is who I was supposed to be with. And if she didn't want to, move to D.C., I didn't have no problem with that. And we've been down here I've been down here for 35 years now.
So that makes you what?
Country
got you crazy.
Oh, count 3, 5, 7. No.
He always say, I'm country. You're country. You're just country. You are officially.
I'm still cityfied, man. And look, and listen,
y'all.
And
there's nothing wrong with being country.
No, it's not. It's not.
I love being a country girl.
Yeah, and country girls can cook. Oh, Deborah can cook.
Okay, get back on task.
Okay. Okay, so now we're at the wedding. Me and Rick are standing up in the church. We done walked in. All those people y'all saw in the pictures, they done came in. Everybody's there, standing in the front. And I'm standing up there with the preacher. And then there's a singer who y'all may not know, and she's kind of famous now. But she sung at our wedding, and her husband is a super producer, LeJune and Cedric Thompson. And LeJune started singing the song, "You Are Everything."
Yeah, we didn't have the traditional "Here Comes the Bride."
No. Yeah.
Right.
I got that on video.
that.
I got that with me.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, but anyway, she starts singing, You Are And she started singing the song, and I'm standing there, and the back doors open up, and Deborah is standing back there in a white gown looking like an angel. And I'm like,
Do I still look like an angel now?
Word? Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yes.
It's because we're on this podcast.
No,
right?
it's not. Even when we get off here.
Okay.
And so anyway, she comes down the aisle with her dad, and he had to practice his part. Remember, he had practiced that part. And they say, who gives this woman away to be married? You say her mother and I, her father. That's exactly what he said. So then, we get married. The wedding is kind of short. Then from the wedding we have. Well, tell them what do you about the tell them about the reception. What happened?
What happened at the
With
reception?
Tim now?
But before the reception, excuse me, before the reception, I remember at the wedding. Was it the wedding? No, it might have been at the reception.
What?
And I told your brother this when he
What?
came down. They came down last weekend?
What? I don't want you to tell me.
His brother, Tim, had
Oh yeah.
Tim written on the back of his head.
This was the 80s, man. That's what people were doing. He had wrote his name in his head. That's all. That's cool.
Yeah, no.
I didn't even notice that.
No, with the wedding, you want everything to be,
That's what you want. That's what the women want. I didn't even notice he wrote his name in the back of his head. That's his name.
And I told him, I said, Tim, I could not believe. He laughed so hard. He said, I can't believe I had my name
written
on the
in
back
my
of my
head.
head. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But Tim was one of the people when we went to the reception. The reception wasn't at the same church that the wedding was at. It was at a reception hall on Grove.
Ann Street.
Yeah.
Off of Grove on Ann.
Oh, across
At
from
that Catholic school. It was in that gym.
across from Biscuitville right now.
No, it's not across from Biscuitville. It's a little bit down.
It's
Ann
on the
Street.
other side of the street, though. You know.
Ann Street. See, that's why you're getting choked up. Anyways, we were there, and was it your family that got lost?
It was. They were announcing the wedding party, and a lot of my family was in the wedding, and everybody's sitting there waiting. And when they made the announcement, they called in certain people's names. They're supposed to walk in, and then they called my brother and whoever he was with, and everybody said what?
Lost.
And then they went to the next person and said lost. So they got lost. They weren't used to Fayetteville. So after the reception, we had a limo pick us up and take us to our hotel. And you want to tell them what happened?
You can.
We our hotel was just off of Cedar Creek Road, but somehow the limo driver got the wrong address, and our hotel was on the left-hand side of the street, but he dropped us off on the right. And we go inside the hotel to check in. They're like, we don't have room for you. And then somehow we figured out that it was across the street. So we're walking across the street.
Still had our clothes on.
It was dark too.
No, I don't think it wasn't too dark.
It was getting dark.
It had to be because it was at 6.
Yeah, the wedding was at 6.
And I still had on my wedding gown.
Had a wedding gown on. We
you
walking
still
across the street to.
We I guess nowadays they change the clothes and stuff, but
Well, we didn't have no change of clothes.
no, we didn't.
We just took what we had. So basically, the wedding was, like I said, the wedding wasn't that long, but it was a lot of people involved. And we look back over our wedding is so old, it's on VHS tape. I really need to get that put it on CD.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that today.
Digital.
Digital?
Yeah.
Digital.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, not CD.
No, people don't really use CDs anymore.
I'm gonna take it off VHS and put it on a tape.
Well, you know, one thing I thought about that once we were married, you know, and we went to the hotel room, I had never slept or stayed overnight with a man before. And I was really afraid.
Afraid? Girl, you should have been excited.
No, I know you were.
Word?
But yeah, I just remember that, you know.
Okay, we're gonna leave it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's our wedding in a nutshell. We'll be back with some more adventures hopefully soon.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is Love and Marriage with Tommy and Deborah. This is a Deep Freeze production with Vic Frost. Peace.
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 With you, the sun is shining 24/7. 'Cause when we're together, it feels like we're in heaven. If it will get dark, you'll be my million stars. I know I can lean on